Well, good morning and welcome to my YouTube channel. So Wally and I have came over to Silver Sands at Aberlour on the Fife Coast to get a sunrise. So I don't think we're going to get a sunrise, but we've got some beautiful scenery and we might get some seascapes, and there's an old pier that we've found, so we might even get a chance of a long exposure shot. There's a couple of lighthouses. There's a whole lighthouse there. Then we've got the whole Silver Sands Bay. And then as we look over to the lights of Edinburgh and Leith. So, join us and let's see where this journey takes us. Well, we're just finding our way this morning. We've had a lot of dead ends, but we've finally got to the base of the waterfall. It's really windy at the top of the hill there. There's a secondary lighthouse. And the light's still on. Let's try and catch it lit. There we go. So this lighthouse over here is called the Haw Lighthouse. H-A is how it's spelt. Well, it's amazing the history of some of these locations that you don't really know. So this information board's saying that it's pretty hard to believe that during World War I, this quiet spot was the location of a groundbreaking Royal Navy research base that led the fight against the U-boat threat. Wow, that is very special. Right, let's get over to this lighthouse. Alright, so I've taken a couple of shots of this lighthouse, but what I'm trying to do is just get down really low so I can isolate the lighthouse, because there's park benches in a turning area on the left hand side. There's a bench sitting on the rocks, so I'm trying to get really low so I can shoot further up. But what I'm trying to do is I'm using the rule of thirds from a compositional point of view, where I've got the lighthouse on the top left hand side, I've then got my horizon, and then I'm using those rocks as a kind of leading line up, and then we're looking out to the sea, and then the little, I think it's Inchholm Island, has just appeared through the mist. So I'll take 2 or 3 shots. I'm trying to slow down the shutter speed so that I've got a softness in the water as well, although it's pretty windy just now, but we'll see how that works. And if any of these images turn out, I'll share them with you now. Right, so our weather's changing all the time. We're starting to get pockets of rain in different areas. So what I'm doing is I'm going to switch to the 70-200 because we've got quite a wide vista just now, but I'm taking some wide angle shots. And what we've got here is we've got Edinburgh and Leith, and we've got the islands in front of us, and there's a little lighthouse in the middle, and then we've got this amazing cloud formation at the back. So what I'm going to do is, the weather is changing all the time. When I was looking over there, there was a nice light coming up over the islands. Now there's a kind of a rain cloud going in front of them. We've got all these rain clouds at the back. We've got the Forth rail bridge up on our far right, but because the ship's lights are too bright, it's difficult to get a shot. But what I'll try and do is I'm going to switch lenses and I'm going to put the 70-200 on, and let's see if we can zoom in and get tighter shots. If any of these wider shots turn out, I'll share them with you now. Right, I've switched over to the 70-200, but I've got a wee composition in front of me where we've got, it's like a lighthouse in the centre of the firth, and then in the background the mountains, and then you've got this kind of streak of rain going behind them. So I'm hoping that I can do this justice. Actually might make quite a nice square crop as well, but we'll wait and see. I'm composing for the sky, so I'm shooting at f16, and at a second, just because I'm trying to smooth down the water, but might have to speed it up because the wind's buffeting the camera a bit, so it might not be sharp. So what I'll do is I'll take 2 or 3 of these images for here using the 70-200, and if they work out, I'll share them with you now. Alright, so I've come down beside the rocks because it's a lot more sheltered for the wind, and I was just saying to Willie, I'll be standing here timing to try and get the light on that wee lighthouse over there. So I'm hoping I've managed. I'm just going back through, yeah, I've got one, because the light's now off. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a shot at the lighthouse. The rain keeps moving past those wee islands, way past Edinburgh. So I've got a couple of shots there. I'm going to, now I'm lower down and I don't have the wind, I'm going to see if I can get a shot of those ships in the Forth Rail Bridge and see if I can get them clear, because when I was up there, I don't think they were that sharp because the wind was buffeting the camera. And as you know, when you've got your camera mounted on your tripod, you turn off your image stabilisation. Just because sometimes that image stabilisation mechanism can adjust the camera a bit and then make that image a wee bit less sharp. So the other thing Willie shared with me is if I go further to the edge of the cliff here and I'll look back, then I can see the lighthouse. So what I've done is I've put my 70-200 lens in my pocket, because I don't think the 70-200 will catch the whole vista. And I'll try some shots with the 70-200. I'll take some shots with the 24-70. And when I'm finished, I'll share these images with you now. We've come at the edge of the rocks here. Just looking back, Willie's taking his shot. We had quite a nice image looking back up to the wee Hall Outhouse, because there was like a path and there was a crag, so there was a gap in the rock that you could allow you to shoot through, but the sky at the back was also breaking up, so I'm hoping those images have turned out. And then we've just come here, there's people wild swimming in the sea there, and we were just saying how shallow it is as you go for the beach, because they're about there where the person's dipping in the water. It's a wee bit chilly for that, right enough. So I've taken a couple of shots. If they turn out, I'll share these images with you now. We've come down to this pier. We were thinking we could maybe get some long exposures. Actually, when I hold the GoPro, the sky is really nice on this side. Willie's over there taking his shots, and I've moved to this side. But I've just set the camera to 40 seconds on bulb mode, so I'm just trying to see, because what we're trying to do here is slow down the water. Oh, and I've got some nice smoothness in the water, but my sky's showing highlights. So what I could do is put on an ND grad for the sky and see if that works. I'll give it a try, and if any of these long exposure, well, if this long exposure image works out, I'll share that with you now. So I've moved right in front of the pier here, and what I'll try and do now is try and get that. Now it's not quite straight, we've got a wee bend here, it kind of swings its way around. Got a few birds there, it's getting darker though. So as you can see over here, we've got quite a lot of dark cloud coming our way, and on the right hand side it's getting a bit brighter. So what I'll do is I'm going to extend my shutter time. I was using 40 seconds there at f14, but I think I'll increase it to about 50 seconds, maybe reduce my f-stop to f11, and I'll see if I can get it brighter. If this shot works, I'll share that with you now. Right, so we've gingerly kind of walked across all these wet rocks. They're really slippy, especially with our wellies. But I'm going to get a side view and a long exposure of the pier because we've got some sun on the left hand side and it's just licking and lighting up the side of that pier. You can see we can get a couple of shots here, even though composition is not great because of the land in the background. Yeah, I might have to go really low and shoot up the way and try and get a better image. In fact, I'll do that. In fact, what I'll do is I'll share with you the shot that I've taken just now and then show you a shot where I go down really low and then my elevations below it so that the land isn't as prominent behind it, and then you can see the difference in what I mean by separation between the two images. Alright, I'm just setting up my camera low just so that I can shoot up underneath, and then that way we've got complete separation. Well, I don't know if we'll have complete separation, we'll have some form of separation anyway between the sky, the old pier and some of the land, although we can't get away from the land because you can see it through the middle section of the pier. The real challenge we've got is if we go far left and shoot out, you've got all the ships and that in the background. So yeah, interesting. There is a nice shot. The sun's touching the cliffs here on my left hand side with a wee lighthouse in the background. That could be quite a nice shot. But anyway, I'll keep trying, I'll persevere, and if these images turn out, I'll share them with you now. Give up a wee bit of hope because the sun wasn't really in our favour. We knew it was supposed to come out, but it's been later and later. However, where Wally's standing, there's a really nice shoreline leading line up to the lighthouse which has been lit up by the sun. I suspect that could be my best photo of the morning. So if it is, I'm going to share that with you now, and let me know in the comments if you like it. I've moved closer to the pier now and I'm trying to get as kind of low down as I can. I don't want to go too low because I'll lose the horizon, but I've got the horizon underneath that beam. I'm trying to hide the ships with all the beams and there's nothing I can really do about that land at the moment. So what I'll do is I'll take 2 or 3 shots. I'm going to do a tight shot and a wider shot, and when I'm finished I'll share these images with you now. Came to right behind this old pier, and what I'm doing is I'm just using a portrait shot and just trying to shoot my way down, but that sun is getting stronger and stronger, so I'm going to have to play about my settings again because it's going to cause havoc and the highlights will be crazy. So if any of these work out, I'll share them with you now. Getting ready. So I've turned the camera around whilst Wally was taking that shot, and then I've got Aberdour Harbour for the distance, just trying to smooth the water down. But the light is constantly changing on us. So it's either going to be really bright or really dull. So we're just having to manage it. It's kind of experimentation, and we're experimenting with quite a lot of long exposures this morning. So that's quite interesting. But anyway, if any of these images turn out at Aberdour Harbour, I'll share them with you. Well, we've just come down to the harbour area, but as you can see there's a lot of brush and bushes and stuff in the way, but there's a clearing down there by the jetty, so we'll walk down there and see if there's anything that we can get an image from. Well, we've come down to the harbour's edge. Wally's over there getting his shots. We can see the old pier we were at a wee while ago. To be fair, the sun's getting really harsh and it's killing the highlights on all the whites. So I think we'll probably make this our last image. So if this image works out, I'll share that image with you. Well, we're back at the car. It's been an interesting morning, eh?
How's that, Stuart? Yeah.
We've had all weathers.
Good light now.
Now, aye. It was really dark in the morning. We were expecting a sunrise this morning. It never happened. In fact, we got rain, and that wasn't even forecast. But we've made the most of it. It's been more experimental, really.
No, just trying things out.
And then the log exposures. So here's hoping those worked out. And then all of a sudden the sun came out, and then trying to manage the highlights and everything with the long exposures and your timings is quite a challenge. So I hope they've worked out. Did they work out for you, you hope?
Hopefully. see when we get back.
Well, thanks again to Wally for chumming me.
You're welcome.
I've thoroughly enjoyed it.
Thanks for asking me.
Oh, no bother. So here's hoping we can make a video out of this. If we do, please give it a thumbs up if you like it. If you haven't subscribed, please do, because you know it's free. And if you press the bell notification, that will let you know the next time I post a video. So thanks very much for watching. Thanks again to Willie.
Cheers, Stuart.
And here's to the next video.